Alright, so it's tier list time, the top point guards in NBA 2K22 Myteam. It's going to be a fun one, it's going to be a joyous one. I actually decided to fill up every single team out here, so it's going to be an interesting time going through all these. We're going to do the fast format again, and make sure you let me know your favorite point guard as we get on throughout the video at the end of the tier list, wherever you deem it to be necessary. So let's start it off with the hard pass tier. So we're starting off with Isaiah Thomas, as probably isn't a surprise to many. Isaiah Thomas is good. I do like his jumper, and I think he's all around actually a pretty solid card. Only problem is he's 5'9" and basically can't guard a park car in 2K. One of the worst defenders, if not the worst defender in the game. I mean, you pull back the right stick and it doesn't even show up in contest. Kind of tough for him. Gus Williams is just like Kemba Walker if he lost all of his athleticism, and it's just not really too fun. He just got it Thanos snapped away. Gilbert Arenas has one of the worst jumpers in the game, at least on this Galaxy Opal, and I don't know. I feel like it's just a tradition now for me to have in a tier list this Galaxy Opal Gilbert Arenas down at the bottom. At this point, it's just kind of fun for me to do, so I keep doing it. Next, my man Earl Boykins. Earl Boykins is actually pretty damn solid, but another case of he's just way too damn small to really be super solid in my team, so him and IT kind of get the boot down here at the bottom. Baron Davis does have a better card, which we will cover a little bit later, but this one just slow, base dribble style, and just nothing too crazy about him, just not a good card. Walt Frazier has one of my least favorite jumpers in the game just because of its speed and jump shot 36. Can be a good card otherwise with some good defense, shooting, playmaking, stuff like that, but jump shot 36, even on quick, way too slow. Tony Parker, just no real reason to use him, but he was an ascension reward that some people still have, and from time to time I still see, so I do want to give him a little bit of slander for that, because I don't know, I'm a little mad about it. Next, Russell Westbrook. I mean, it's Westbrook. The guy just only can go to the basket, which, I mean, is decent enough, but just not really a card that I'm super gassed about or really highly recommend to many people, especially because he was just a free card, so I include him. Rajon Rondo is him. Just kidding. He's not. Rajon Rondo is really that great. He is an exchange reward card, but he's just really not at all worth using, if we're being 100% honest. He's a good card, but he's nothing crazy. Next, my man Pat Bev. Pat Bev has a very slow, very beta jumper, so while he does have good defense, he's undersized and he's got a slow jumper, which makes him super easy to contest, and means he's not going to guard anybody that is a lot taller than him. Jeremy Lin, I decided to include just because they put out a free locker code yesterday for Jeremy Lin, so you can go ahead and actually pick him up if you, I guess, want to. Problem is, Jeremy Lin has jump shot 40 in the normal timing, the shifty style and stuff like that, so he's just really not that amazing, and I think most people that use him will most likely be a bit disappointed with how well he plays, because you would probably think he'd be great, but he's honestly a bit underwhelming for being 100% honest out here. And last but not least is my man Kyle Lowry. Just he's got a big dumpy, but it makes him slow when you give him that base dribble style. Can be a good shooter, but I'm honestly just not in love with the jumper and just not in love with the card in general. He's good, but another case of like good, but nothing crazy. We got the still decent tier starting off right now with my man Isaac Bonga. I think that's how CBG says you're supposed to say it. But it's another case of like, he's actually a pretty good card. Bonga is 6'8", which is mainly why a lot of people still use the card, because he is so tall and it makes him actually a solid enough, point guard. But aside from that, he's got a pretty slow jumper and does play some good defense, though. I will give him that, but just nothing crazy. Chris Paul, short. That's just kind of the name of the game. If you're a very undersized player in 2K normally, but especially, I feel like this year, there's just not much of a reason to go ahead and use the card, and he's really no exemption. Same thing with the next guy, Trae Young. Trae Young's a card in the beginning of the year that I absolutely loved using. One of my favorite cards in the game. It was just super fun to just go out there and do anything you wanted with him. But at this point, even with his jumper on quick, just still feels slow. Yes, he's got some good dribbling, but he's not a good finisher, and the defense is decent enough for guys his size, but if they're taller, there's just not really a chance that you're going to do anything too special with him. Next is Tony Kukoc. He is tall, but just feels clunky on the court, which is just, I don't know, not really something that I'm looking forward to. When I use a card, I do think that he can be solid and can be fun for some people, but just, yeah, he's not my cup of tea. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's up next, or not Shai, Spencer Dinwiddie's up next, but these guys are kind of the same thing. Both of them are nice, tall PGs that sadly have just kind of baited jumpers, ones that I'm not really super excited about, especially Dinwiddie with it on the normal timing is just way too easy to contest him and just make him null and void, even though he is a tall PG. So I'm gonna have to give him a L for that one. De'Aaron Fox has a nice 6'3" Paul George point guard, but has the jumper timing on normal, so I had to put him down. He's still decent. I still think he's super fun. The Paul George jumper is nice. He just really desperately needs the jumper faster than what he's got, and that fact is what is putting him down, and that's still decent tier, sadly. Salem Sotomayor just can't dunk and doesn't play good enough defense, but it's like a play shot, you know, where you're just dribbling around and shooting a bunch of threes just for fun. He is insanely good at that. He is super fun to use for that, and I highly recommend it for anybody who's just doing that. If you can still get him from the bracket buster spotlight, not quite sure, but he's fun. Pete Maravich up next. I see a lot of people all the time talk about how like Pete needs to be up higher on the list. No, he doesn't. Pete has the Ray Allen jumper on normal. Yes, he's got good dribbling, but his defense is kind of bad, and that Ray Allen jumper is still insanely easy to contest. I love the Ray Allen jumper, and I do think that Pete can be a super fun card, but he doesn't need to be higher on the list. He's good in the still decent tier here. Next, my man Allen Iverson has the trade break base on quick, which is actually pretty good, and obviously it's Allen Iverson. He's going to break ankles. He can actually get to the basket fairly well and cook some people's cook some people's ankles, knock their shoes or socks right out of their shoes. Is a great card for anybody that likes to dribble, has fun doing all that sort of stuff, and just kind of wants to use him. Really good for anything like that. It's just the problem is AI, as is the problem with a lot of cards, is just really short in comparison to some other guys out there, which just kind of makes him not all that fun to use. Mike Bibby is another one of the shorter PGs, but actually has a pretty nice jumper in jump shot 22 on very quick. Again, nice jumper. It's clean, it's simple, it's consistent, has good dribbling as well to mesh along with it, and it actually can be a pretty damn solid all-around PG. Is going to struggle against all the guys, but he's all right. And then Jay Williams for a Sapphire is super fun, super nice, but again, has that lack of defense that can severely hurt a lot of cards out here. So, you know, we're not exactly super happy about that, but can be an all-around nice Sapphire, cheap, or free card if you have him. Starting off the pretty damn solid tier is my man Jalen Brunson, who I actually really love. That jump shot 28 is a jumper that I've always just found really easy to time personally. Some people may not like him. He is 6'1". He does have some pretty good defense though, has some solid enough finishing. I'm a fan of Brunson, but I will say for the grand scheme of players, he may not be okay, so I'm putting him in the middle and pretty damn solid. Amon Shumpert, I'm actually a massive fan of. Jump shot 32, I'm pretty sure. Great defense, good size for PG, locks it down, is a great slasher, and all around I think is super fun and a super nice card, so I'm keeping him pretty damn solid. Mike Conley for a free dark matter is great, but he's 6 foot, which is kind of tough. He's basically Mike Bibby with just better defense, and that's still a really good card, which is why I put him up a tier higher. Arvydas Sabonis is obviously super tall, 7'3" for it, or 7'2", 7'3", something like that. For a point guard is crazy, but obviously he's better as a center. The fundamental dribble style can be nice, and his defense being, you know, as tall as he is obviously pretty damn solid. It is pretty nice, but in the grand scheme of things, he can get burned very, very quickly against some other people, so you do have to, I guess, be a little bit, I guess, cautious. We'll say we'll be cautious. That's what we'll say. Next, my man Alex Caruso. I absolutely have a bunch of fun using this Alex Caruso. One of my favorite cards, honestly. Just feels fun. And that's really all I got, honestly. He just feels fun. He feels nice. His defense is great. Got him in the draft mode a few times, and he has actually carried me. Jump shot 14 or 17 he has on a quick. Feels super nice. Feels super smooth. And all around, I've just had a really fun time using him. So, I don't know. I like this Alex Caruso. Next is Tyrese Maxey. Now, Tyrese is obviously a fairly shorter PG, but his defense is crazy. His jumper feels nice. It feels smooth. He's got good playmaking, and his finishing is all around solid, so we give him some love. Tim Hardaway is obviously an invincible, so the guy has basically 99 in every single stat. Basically has every single Hall of Fame badge. But if we're being 120% honest, he's not that good. Yes, he's a free invincible that you get, but he has jump shot 40 on that very quick timing, which obviously can be solid enough. But if we're being honest, he's still a super undersized card that I just don't really think many people are going to be super thrilled to have or really have fun. I do think the domination, though, is actually pretty worth doing. It's just the problem is the end card isn't really that great. Smush Parker is basically Allen Iverson if you just made him taller, which is a much better card, especially given that he's only a Ruby and he was essentially free. I think that this Smush Parker is really nice to have as a card for most people. So, I mean, if you have him, try him out. I think you may be pleasantly surprised with how well he plays for you, because he's actually pretty good. Seth Curry's up next, a new card that dropped, basically just a better shooting version of the Amon Shumpert that we talked about, with some slightly worse defense. Obviously, that's going to be a little bit tough for some people, but honestly, I think that more people could use Seth Curry and have fun with him, especially given how nice of a budget option he is. Sam Cassell just has the jumper that I hate, set jump shot 18 on very quick. It's still just not a jumper that I will choose to have fun with very often, so I'm just gonna have to put him in the pretty damn solid, because he's good at everything but having a bad jumper. Matt Kelvin is just a shorter Steph Curry, which some people are gonna have some fun with. I'm just not a fan. And then last but not least is my man Lonzo Ball. Absolutely love him for an emerald. The card is crazy good. We get the baby demon tier, starting off with my man Gilbert Arenas. Now Gilbert is a guy who has a really good jumper. Dante Exum on very quick. He's the only card I think with it on very quick right now, if I'm not mistaken. And it actually makes him gross. Like, he is disgustingly good. Only problem is he's 6'3". Aside from that, he is great. Like, just honestly great. So if you get him, try him out. For a 6'3" PG, he's going to be awesome. Don Ole is just basically like a slightly worse version of a Dark Matter Derrick Rose, which is still a very, very good card in 2K. He's not game-breaking or anything like that, but I still think you're going to have a lot of fun using him if you do have him on your team, so give him a shot. Next is our man DeMar DeRozan. Now, DeMar is 6'7" with the Treyberg base on Quake, which is really where you kind of get some love there. Now, DeMar is going to have some trouble like with interior defense, but perimeter he's going to be fine enough. All around going to be pretty good. It's just, yeah, that interior defense is going to be low, which is a bit unfortunate. D'Angelo Russell, one of my favorite cards. The D-Lo base on very quick, feels super smooth. It's enough to really just get the job done if you need it, and I've had a really good time just using this D-Lo. Super nice budget card, super nice PG. He's 6'5", so he has a good size, can play a good enough interior defense. I'm a fan. Damian Lillard, obviously, is Damian Lillard. The guy can get a bucket at will, but is he going to be able to play super crazy defense against most people? Probably not, but he's still going to be pretty fun, and he's always going to obviously guarantee you a bucket, so we have to give him some love for that. Cade Cunningham, definitely a outdated card at this point in 2K, but some people still are having some fun with him, so we got to give him some love, I guess, for that, for just having fun with him. Jump shot 80 on on quick is getting a little bit slow, but he's still, I think, a 6'8" PG, which is absolutely nutty at this point in the game, so yeah, we're giving him a shout out for that. Baron Davis is basically just another version of Damian Lillard. He's just got, I think, actually a lot better finishing, which honestly I am a fan of. I actually like this Baron Davis card. So if you've used Damian Lillard cards in the past and you were like, damn, I wish that he could just dunk a little bit better, pick up Baron and you will see what that's like. Steve Francis, one of the most fun cards to just dribble around with in the entire game, has some of the best SIGs in the entire game, has a great jumper, although sometimes it's a little slow. And his defense, actually solid enough, so there's really no problem with him. All around good. John Stockton's up next. He's got jump shot 3 on very quick, and it makes him virtually unguardable. If we're being 100% honest, it's honestly one of the hardest to guard cards, honestly, in the entire game. If we're being honest, like, this guy's kind of crazy. Only problem is that Stockton just can't finish. Like, that's really the main negative that you will notice with him. The guy just cannot finish a bucket, not finish a dunk, which is obviously going to hurt a lot of people's teams. A lot of people would like to slash at least a little bit with their point guards. It's just not going to be the case. Although I will say he has really good defense, so that can actually be a plus for him. Jason Williams, another, I think, jump shot 3 card, but I think he has it on quick. It might be very quick, but same case, not the greatest of finishers, although he has some pretty good defense on him. So, while he's underwhelming in some aspects, he can actually be pretty solid all around. And then Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd's just good. He's got defense. He's got, basically, the only thing that Jason Kidd has is a not so great jumper. That's the only negative that you can give to him. which, if that's the only negative that you're having for a card, it means he's pretty damn all-around solid, and the Chasing Kid is, and I've even seen a lot of people say that his jumper's not as bad as you think, so I put him up a tier. And then last but not least, Jamal Murray, who does have jump shot 80 on very quick, which is the same jumper that Cade has, but on very quick, so a little bit faster timing on him, which obviously helps. Only problem is he's 4 inches shorter than Cade Cunningham, so I decided to put him on the same tier because I feel like that's at least enough out there to warrant them being on the same tier. One advantage, one disadvantage. They're not the same. And now we have the Demons tier, which is starting off with Rose. I said earlier, just a better version of Don Ole. Rose jumper, Rose dunking, Rose finishing, his insane playmaking, and his really good defense. For a 6'3 PG, it doesn't get much better than this Derrick Rose, who is all around a super good card. So he gets a shout out for being super fun. Honestly, I love this Derrick Rose. Next, Ben Simmons. I mean, what do I have to say about a 6'10" guy that has the Ben jumper and has some of the best defense a card could possibly have in the game? Ben is a top PG without a doubt. This one is one that people might disagree with. It's Steph Curry. I'm putting him in the top tier because I'm a fan of Steph, and I think he's really damn good. Obviously, he has 99 in every single stat because he's invincible. He has almost every single Hall of Fame badge because he's invincible. But I personally am a huge fan of him, and I use him all the time. I will use him all the time if I get the chance to pick him up, because obviously he's not exactly the cheapest card right now. But honestly, if you know how to use Steph, he's going to be one of the most fun cards and one of the easiest cards to get open, so I'm giving him a shout there. Spencer Dinwiddie is insanely good. 6'6" PG and is good at everything. Playmaking's nice. His jumper finally is on very quick and it actually can get open now, and you can actually green more consistently with it. He's got good defense because he's so tall. He's all around great. Penny Hardaway, 6'7". Sadly, his jump shot 10 on very quick still, which I don't love, but you know, it's still Penny Hardaway. He's still super tall, has good defense, good finishing, can shoot, and good playmaking. Oscar Robertson, just if you've used the Opal after Evo, you have used this. Oscar Robertson has a jumper on very quick, jump shot 49. It is absolutely insane. He moves super smooth. He's super disgusting out there. Just honestly, one of the more fun cards you could use, and definitely worth 1,000 tokens. Michael Jordan, still one of the best PGs in the entire game. His Jordan jumper on very quick, insanely good defense, really good playmaking. It's MJ. Markelle Fultz is basically Steph Curry, but an inch taller, and it's insanely cheesy. If you got him for free, I think he's probably the best of those cards that you could have gotten. Magic Johnson. Magic is a weird card, but I decided to put him up there. He's one of those cards where you either like him or you don't. He's 6'9", has pretty good dribbling now, and has crazy good defense because he's so tall. I'm not going to say that he's like the best PG in the game, but he's definitely one of the best if you like his style of play. Luka Doncic is still the most unguardable card in the entire game, so you have to give him some love for that. You have to shout it out at least a little bit. It's annoying that Luka is still as good as he is, but Luka is definitely, at this point in time, one of the best cards that has ever touched, if not the best card that has ever touched my team. LaMelo Ball, jump shot 81 on very quick, 6'7" PG with crazy good playmaking, good defense. Not going to be like the most crazy dribbler, but he's just good at everything. And then last but not least is my man Drew Holiday, a card that came out today that you can get for essentially for free. All you have to do is either play some triple threat games or triple threat online games. You may get lucky and get him from the vault or the board early, but if you just play 15 online and 30 offline games, you get this Drew Holiday for free minus contract costs. So 6'3" with a 6'7" wingspan. The guy's a crazy good shooter. His playmaking is great. His defense is insane with a 95 interior, which at 6'3" won't be too bad with that 6'7" wingspan. And then he's got jump shot 29 on very quick style, the Kemba size up, Kobe escape, the Scottie Pippen behind the back, long out, the layup package, and some of the best defensive tendencies you'll see. So honestly, I think that Drew is going to get a shout out up here at the Demon tier. Some people might disagree with him, but I think after you use him and a lot of free people get to try him out, I think the general consensus will be that he's in one of the top 2 tiers. If you want to switch him around for somebody maybe Demon, I understand that. But let me know your thoughts about the list down in the comment section below. Like if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe if you guys are new. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.